We've got the press conference with Jack Stollsteimer. Let's listen.
Go ahead, we're ready.
Good evening. My name is Jack Stollsteimer. I'm the District Attorney of Delaware County. I'm joined here today by the police chiefs from Lansdowne, East Lansdowne, the Superintendent of the Upper Darby Police Department, and the mayors of Lansdowne and East Lansdowne to talk about the tragic but heroic situation that took place this afternoon. At about 3:47 this afternoon, a call went out from our 911 center that an 11-year-old girl had been shot on a property at 58 Lewis Street in East Lansdowne Borough. Police officers from Upper Darby, Lansdowne, and East Lansdowne immediately responded to that call. And braving the danger, they ran up towards danger so that the rest of us can run away from it. They were immediately met by gunfire. And two officers have been struck, one from Lansdowne, one from East Lansdowne. They are both doing okay. I just visited with their family, as we all did. They are being taken care of in great care here at the hospital. We expect them to be perfectly fine, but they have been through a trauma. And it was because of the Upper Darby Police Department, who also responded to that call, that these officers are alive today. They were dragged out of danger by Upper Darby police officers. Everybody in law enforcement in Delaware County works together. And we just had a tremendous showing of all of our mutual aid. All of our departments were on scene, are still on scene, and East Lansdowne dealing with the aftermath of this. As you know, the house was then set on fire. We don't know who the occupants are. We don't know who the shooter was at this point. We don't know how many people are in there or even if they're even still alive. Our compatriots and our colleagues are on scene dealing with that right now. But we are happy to tell people in Delaware County right now that keep praying for these officers and their family, but they're doing well. They're going to be okay. Thank God for that. And I just can't thank these officers and this team enough for the heroism displayed every single day by our police officers throughout the county, but particularly today. I can't thank Upper Darby police officers enough for what they did to drag these two gentlemen away from the gunfire, or we might be having a whole different conversation tonight about what happened.
Any validity to the initial report?
We have no idea. Let me just say right now, we are still actively investigating the scene. We don't know who was in the house. We don't know who the shooter was. We don't know how many people are in there. We don't know their status. We don't know if they're alive. Police officers right now are making sure that that scene is secure. The gunfire has stopped. I just left that scene. Some of us, the chiefs, did as well. The house was still on fire, so we weren't able to make entry yet into the house because we're taking it safely for all of the officers on scene. But we will get to the bottom of it, and we will continue that investigation to know whether or not an 11-year-old girl was or was not shot, but more importantly, who shot these police officers, and we intend to hold everyone accountable.
Jack, can you explain to the people who are watching this on TV and wondering why you weren't putting out the fire, just explain to the neighbors and everything why you weren't putting out that fire?
Sure, because officers were taking gunfire. The police officers in the fire department who were out there were still shots coming out at the beginning of this fire scene. So we want to make sure, and some of our police chiefs are out there right now. Some of our police chiefs in Delaware County are also fire chiefs. Okay, so they're out there actively controlling that scene. But there is nobody else in danger. We've made sure that the entire block has been emptied of people, and that fire is now mostly under control. But again, we're not going to go make entry into that house until we know that the fire is under control and that it's safe for those officers to go in there. We don't want another single officer hurt tonight in Delaware County.
Can you go into more about how the Upper Darby officers, they get on scene, and can you explain more about how they were dragging them? Like, how did that all play out?
I'm going to answer that question. In fact, I'm going to let Superintendent Bernhardt answer that question. But Annie, I can't tell you the exact details of their injuries right now. Their family are with them. I want to protect their privacy at this point. I don't want to tell you the officers' names or their injuries. They are not life-threatening injuries. Both officers are going to be fine, God willing, but they are doing okay, and they're here getting great treatment.
But they weren't both shot.
They were both shot.
Okay. And once each?
One each. Okay. Yep, one wound each.
And both males?
Yes, male police officers.
Can you tell us how long they've been with the departments for?
Chief?
Mine's 22 years.
Veteran police officers, 22 years. The officer from East Lansdowne, 22 from Lansdowne.
And how many officers are in your? You have a small department, right?
We don't want to take a lot. They're not going to take a lot of questions. They're going to go back inside and talk to the family. But I do want to have Superintendent Bernhardt, because I think this is a very important. I think people need to know how heroic our police officers are, not just responding to a call, but taking care of each other. Tim, would you mind?
Absolutely, Jack. Yes. So like the district attorney said today, that call went out for shots fired in the borough of East Lansdowne. The borough of East Lansdowne borders Upper Darby Township, and we work well with them and work with them daily. When that call went out, our officers automatically responded to that scene on the uniblock of Lewis Avenue. Our uniform patrol responded and saw 2 officers, and they advised our officers that they had been shot. Our officers, numerous officers responded, got ballistic shields, and were able to go onto that street, drag those officers out. One of those officers was transported here by one of our marked police cars. The other uniform officers from Upper Darby were able to drag the other officer to a waiting ambulance and was driven here as well.
Tim, were your officers taking fire too when they were dragging those officers?
All officers that were on scene initially were taking on fire, and then when they removed themselves from it, there was no more gunfire at that point.
We're now going to go back inside. These guys have to go deal with the situation that is still unfolding in East Lansdowne. I appreciate you all being here. We want you to know that these officers are doing well. We ask for the continued prayers for them and their family. They have to recover from this trauma. But thank you for taking the time tonight. We're going to go back inside and continue dealing with the ongoing problem. Thank you.